at andersonsvacuum.com.
You're listening to the Experience Pros Radio Show, the most positive business talk show in America. Best-selling authors of Lists That Saved My Business and founders of the Extreme Customer Service Directory, Angel Tussey and Eric Raymer, are inspiring you to get your business right. They know that customer experience isn't just another thing, it's the only thing. Let's join Angel and Eric for today's program.
Hello and welcome to the Experience Pros Radio Show with Angel and Eric. Very nice to have you along with us. We are here to remind you that small business is big business and your business is our business. A fine hello to you.
And to you too. Happy middle of the week.
It is, can we say it?
No.
I'll say it without saying it.
Do not say it.
It's the middle of the week. It's Wednesday.
You are not a camel.
I wasn't going to do it that way.
How else were you going to do
I was
it?
going to say it's hump day. That's what some people call it hump day.
Just like that.
Yeah.
You know.
No, when I really want permission to do that, which I have only done once in the last
should I
year or
say
so.
that? Could I say that?
Yeah.
So that was you acting like a camel.
No, not yet. It was some stuff going on in the stock market today. We just obviously crossed over the close. The Dow, the NASDAQ, and the S&P 500 all up once again. Very, very important and good news. Dow's up 107 points to 20,611. The NASDAQ is up almost 37 points to 5819. And the S&P 500 is up almost 12 points to 2349. Big gains today. Southwest Airlines up almost 3.5 points. And Procter & Gamble up 3.6 points. GoPro, Gilead Sciences, Under Armour, all winners in today. Did you know that this is the longest record streak on the NASDAQ since the bust of the .com bubble?
Wow.
Right.
Wow, that's saying something.
Yeah, they really are. They say so much for President Trump being bad for tech stocks. The NASDAQ is in the midst of its biggest string of records since the .com bubble back in December of 1999. So, wow. Do you remember the Pets.com sock puppet? The little dog sock puppet? Mm-hmm. That was the .com bubble was blown away.
Wasn't there, Toys.com. Wasn't there a website called eToys?
eToys.com.
eToys.com, which I think ended up getting bought out by either Toys R Us or Amazon or something like
probably
that.
swallowed by Amazon.
But I remember buying something for Christmas one year. It was the first thing I'd ever bought, shopping, that whole online, doing my Christmas shopping. I had done some different things through we were Amway distributors at the time, and so we did our ordering online through that. But to actually go online and they had this beautiful commercial that played that oh my gosh, it was this beautiful song Over the Rainbow by that Izzy guy.
Oh, Izzy, yeah. The ukulele playing Hawaiian.
Yes, it was beautiful. Mm-hmm. Anyways, and then they didn't make it. I was bummed.
Yeah, well, sorry about that. Here's some other things that are happening that you might be interested in. Did you hear that Han Solo crashed his Millennium Falcon again? Actually, he didn't crash it. He
didn't crash it, and it wasn't a Millennium Falcon.
He landed his airplane on a taxiway at Orange County Airport.
While a jet was also.
While a 737. And his communication to the to the tower was, hey, is that plane supposed to be here? Excuse me, Han Solo. You landed on the taxiway.
Yeah, on the wrong.
Whoops.
On the wrong place.
It's not a runway. That's where we drive the planes. Which, can you just imagine the realization that comes over you when somebody says you screwed up on a big, big way? And he could have his pilot's license suspended by the FAA. It's one of those suspendable things, but he's Han Solo. So, after crashing on the golf course and crashing somewhere else, he's probably going to get a pass and just don't do that again.
Don't do that again.
Yeah. Meanwhile, in Charlotte, is it North Carolina? Charlotte, North Carolina, a plane has hit a deer as it was trying to take off from Charlotte Douglas International Airport.
Mm-hmm. A deer.
Yeah. And this is a passenger plane. This is PSA Airlines 5320, a CRJ 700, kind of like the one that one of our mutual friends flies, returned to the airport after at about 12:15 p.m. after declaring an emergency. Crew reported they struck a deer on takeoff from runway 36 shortly before noon. 44 passengers on board at the time. All people on board have been evacuated. Passengers being bussed back to the terminal while they pump new air into the tires and get them back on the plane. I'm joking about that part. I don't know.
Okay.
Do you have allergies?
I do have seasonal allergies, and when I eat cheap chocolate, it makes me sneeze.
Cheap chocolate makes you sneeze.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it doesn't stop me. And by cheap, I don't mean because it was 50% off the day after Valentine's Day.
Yeah, I knew. So I got a buddy. We have a mutual friend who says, "Yeah, I'm getting up early today to go shopping for half off chocolate."
Yeah, right. Because that's what it's the 50% off chocolate day.
Have you ever heard of someone who is allergic to somebody else?
Allergic to somebody else, like to pets? I'm allergic to animals too, but
wife who is allergic to husband faints in the new home that he built for her. The husband of a Minnesota woman who is allergic to everything, including her spouse, spent a year renovating their new home to create a safe space for her. But the smell of the bathroom's new pipes and the stress of the move have left her too sick to even stand.
Are you kidding me?
I can't imagine being allergic to the person that you love, that you are married to. And much more. See, I made a sterile environment for you, but the smell of the new pipes left her passing out.
That's intense.
Yeah,
that's intense. Can she never? She could probably never buy a new car either, right? That new car smell,
right? That makes me sick too. And then finally, at least finally from my side of the news, I don't know if you've got anything that you want to bring, but here's there's a woman in California who is suing the candy maker of Mike and Ike. You know those little gummy.
What did Mike and Ike do?
Life may be a box of chocolates, but when that box is half empty, even Forrest Gump wouldn't be thrilled. Neither was a California woman who opened a box of Mike and Ike's only to discover it was half air. On behalf of the empty box of candy victims everywhere, Time is reporting that the woman is suing the candy manufacturer Just Born Quality Confections for violating California's false advertising law, unfair competition law, and the Consumers Legal Remedies Act. The woman purchased a box of Mike and Ike's at a movie theater, and after spending $4, was pretty disappointed to find 46% of the box was filled with air. How she measured that, I don't know, but call it pretty close to half. According to Time, a spokesperson for Mike and Ike said they plan to defend the company, saying their products and label comply with all FDA regulations and provide consumers with the information that they need. Come on. Americans obviously don't need to read labels. We clearly need pictures and big letters. That's in the news. It's honestly a news report. I read it just the way it's written.
You read it just the way it was.
Yeah. You ever buy something and just think, the
bag of potato chips,
right?
Potato chips.
And then,
yes,
whoa, who ate half my bag?
I feel like that with popcorn as well.
Yeah.
Right? When I popped a bag of popcorn the other day, and it wasn't bulging with popcorn when it was all fully popped.
Was it like a microwave bag?
Yeah, and when I opened it up, it was not full of little seeds, little kernels, so it wasn't as if
that's defective.
It wasn't half popped, but shouldn't it be bursting with popped kernels?
It depends on the brand you're buying, but the ones I buy are always full of.
It was the first time it ever happened. I blamed it on the new microwave.
You have a new microwave too? Wow, yeah. You got all kinds of cool stuff going on in your kitchen. You're doing a kitchen remodel.
I kind of am. So, did you ever see the movie Love Actually? It's a Christmas movie. It came out years ago.
Is that with Hugh Grant?
Yes. I had like a ton. It was like 6 different storylines going on, and they were all completely random storylines, so it would seem. But in some way, their lives were all connected to each other. These two ended up, they were neighbors, and this was, her brother-in-law, and this one, was her boss. And so there was all these, 6 completely different storylines, but yet they were all connected in some way. Well, they're doing a sequel.
They are?
They're doing a sequel. Yeah, to Love Actually. Wow. Yeah, it's getting ready to come out.
All right.
Yeah, so that's kind of exciting.
Is that Love Actually Still We Really Mean It?
I don't know what it's going to be called.
All right.
But it's actually coming out. It's coming out, I think,
we'll find out and we'll report back to you. Mm-hmm. All right, folks, don't go anywhere. We've got more positive business talk, real business talk, and not suing people or running over deer kind of talk. Coming next on the Experience Pros Radio Show, you're listening to Angel and Eric. This is home of ExperienceProsDeals.com. Go check it out. 40 to 90% off all the stuff you buy anyways. Why not get a deal? We'll be back after this.
You're listening to the Experience Pros Radio Show, America's home for positive business talk.
Denver's Money Talk, 1690 AM.
You've probably thought about taking a trip to Israel many times, but something always got in the way. Make 2017 the year you make your dream of visiting the Holy Land a reality. Experience Israel next fall with Genesis Tours. For over 9 exciting days, tour Israel like a local, experiencing the wonder of the Bible coming to life before your eyes. For a full cost and trip details and to register, visit experienceisraeltour.com. That's experienceisraeltour.com.
Attention Market Wrap listeners, Mo Ansari will be in Denver to meet with you on Wednesday, March 1st. You bring your investment questions, retirement concerns, and current portfolio. He'll bring his 38 years of experience as a professional money manager, along with one of his certified financial planners. Together, they'll answer your questions and give you some ideas on how to develop a successful investment portfolio and financial plan customized to fit your needs. So call pound 250 on your cell phone and say talk to Mo to make an appointment for your complimentary consultation. That's Wednesday, March 1st in Denver. If you're unsure about your current investment strategy or just beginning to develop one, let Mo lend a hand. Call pound 250 on your cell phone and say talk to Mo. The appointment is free, so pick up your cell phone, call pound 250 and say talk to Mo.
Compact Asset Management is a registered investment advisor, funds custodian, Fidelity Institutional Wealth Services, member FINRA SIPC.
Honey, what is that in your CPAP mask?
Oh, that's just my mold collection.
Oh, gross. And what is that?
What, that bacteria colony right there?
Yeah, cool, huh? Okay, CPAP users, admit it. You're not always as careful about cleaning your system as you should be. Unfortunately, a dirty mask and hose can make you sick. Respiratory infections, allergy attacks, and more. But now there's an easy way to protect yourself. SoClean.com has released the world's first and only automated CPAP cleaner and sanitizer. It kills 99.9% of CPAP germs in minutes. For a limited time, you can try it risk-free for 30 days. Just call 1-800-600-4394. SoClean is hands-free. Just pop in your mask, close the lid, and presto, your CPAP comes out clean and fresh in minutes. Don't let germs wreak havoc on your health. Call in the next 10 minutes for your risk-free trial. 1-800-600-4394. That's 1-800-600-4394.
Hearing aid users are younger and more active than ever before, and the reason may surprise you. Today's hearing aids have become so advanced, they're almost effortless. How effortless? You only change the batteries once a year, not every week. And you never open the battery compartment, even at night. How effortless? You can adjust how loudly and how much background noise you want to hear, right from your phone. And the clarity. Independent studies show that our hearing aids help you to hear better in background noise than people with perfect hearing, automatically. I'm Dr. Barbara Jenkins from Advanced Audiology. For more information about these and other advancements that improve clarity and ease of use, go to advancedaudiology.com or call 303-649-2122. If you have a hearing loss, you know how important these features can be. That's 303-649-2122. At Advanced Audiology, we take your hearing seriously.
Hey there, Dan Cicchini, owner of Dunright Kitchens and Baths, Windows and Doors. There's absolutely no reason why right now can't be your time to get started on that beautiful new kitchen or that awesome bath you've always wanted. See what our family can do for your family. 800-362-8370.
Question: would you seat your 3-year-old child on a windowsill? And would you seat them in a car seat that's not the correct one? Secure their future. Seat them in the correct car seat. More info at safercar.gov/the-right-seat. A message from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
This is the Experience Pros Radio Show. Got an opinion or want to ask us a question? Email radio@experiencepros.com or message us on the Experience Pros Facebook page, and we'll interact with you live on the show.
Welcome back to the Experience Pros Radio Show. Positive Business Talk has an address, and it's right here. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day to join us for ours.
All right. Well, Union Bank just recently conducted a survey compiling the results from nearly 700 small business owners in the states of California, Oregon, and Washington. And they discovered that small business owners are significantly more confident about the national economy. They found that hiring is on the rise, more business owners planning to offer permanent full-time positions in 2017, while interest in contractors and temporary positions are waning. So we brought in the managing director and head of business banking for Union Bank, Todd Hollander. They serve the needs of a broad range of businesses in varying sizes, profiles with up to $50 million in annual revenues. He's here to discuss the findings from their small business economic survey and also to help us understand the needs of small business owners. Todd Hollander, welcome to the Experience Pros Radio Show.
Thank you. Thanks for having me on.
Hey, Todd, very nice to have you with us. We just reported that the NASDAQ is in the midst of the biggest string of records since the dot-com bubble back in 1999. Your results of your survey are encouraging to small business owners all across the boards. What did you find were some of the major findings of the survey?
Well, the 5 key findings that I want to make sure we leave the listeners with is we've seen an 11-point increase in the business owners that believe the national economy is headed in the right direction. Compared to 2016, that's the biggest single-year increase we've seen in the 18 years we've been doing the survey.
Wow.
Most small business owners feel that access to credit has remained constant over the past 2 years, but are divided when asked how prepared they are for the changing interest rate environment. And then the percentage of small business owners that increased prices this year declined slightly to 26% from 29% last year, but this is the first decrease of its kind since 2012. So although most small business owners don't rate the government efforts to support them as very good, nearly 40% view the government efforts and programs in place are helpful for the business owners to grow. And finally, we found that small business owners are more likely to increase staffing this year, up 5 points, but more importantly than that, you mentioned it in your comments that they're more likely to hire permanent employees, which is giant because if a business owner is willing to hire a permanent employee, it's just like investing in a piece of machinery. They have a lot of confidence that their revenue is going to be growing. So of all the things that we found in the survey this year, I find that point the most poignant.
All right. Well, that is exciting. And thinking just from last year, a lot were put back on part-time, temporary positions. A lot of that had to do with the changes in healthcare, as well as the minimum wage changes coming down the pike as well. What surprised you the most, Todd, from this survey?
Well, just the overall sense of optimism in the survey respondents from stem to stern. So whether you looked at small business owners by region, by size of business, or by industry, they all reported positive earnings or positive outlook for what's going to come in the next year. So this has been by far the most positive survey that we've had in the entire time that we've been doing it. And since 2008, when things weren't so positive, it's kind of nice to see an increase on top of a survey that was pretty positive last year as well.
It's funny because you just said last year's survey was pretty positive as well. And so we're not talking about the necessarily the Trump effect, although I think that comes to bear with this because he is a businessman. You talked about how prepared are the small business owners to handle a changing interest rate environment, which we hear a lot of the talking heads in the financial sectors saying that because Trump is in office, they expect that there will be inflation coming on. How prepared are small business owners to handle an inflation scenario?
Well, that's a terrific question. I look at it in perspective because we've operated in the longest low interest rate period in the history of our economy, and things have been in a low interest rate environment and declining since 2008 and then stable for a long time. A lot of the a lot of these businesses that we survey tend to be on the younger side because they're small. And so they've never been through a rising rate environment. So I think it's natural to have anxiety over something you haven't experienced. But with inflation, with the consumer confidence at an all-time high and everything else, I think with the revenues are there and the businesses are successful, they naturally have the money to be able to afford the interest rate improvements, or they won't happen because the Fed raises interest rates when we see inflation, decreases when we see deflation, and want to encourage investment. So, everything goes hand in hand. So I'm sure our business owners that haven't experienced it will experience it, and then it won't be such a mystery.
So what does a company like Union Bank do when you get a survey result like this? What are you guys looking to do to offer to, and how are you going to be prepared to serve the small business in the upcoming months?
Yeah, well, interestingly enough, in regions like Los Angeles, we found more of the business owners are going to apply for loans in the future, and that's on top of a gain for last year. So what we want to do, and one of the reasons we do this survey, is we really want to know how our big constituency is feeling, and prepare ourselves to meet the demand and be in front of it. So we're gearing up for hopefully a larger demand in lending, because we've seen a relatively flat to down demand since 2008, because most of the business owners that survived that downturn did so because they were more conservative, had liquidity, and they're more reticent to borrow unless they're positive that the economy is going to be there and they're going to be able to pay us back. So with this optimism, we hope for an increase in loan demand as well.
We often talk about a trickle down effect. If the small businesses are hiring more permanently, will there be a trickle up effect for those bigger businesses now to be hiring to keep up with the demand that the small businesses are needing?
Yeah, I think the larger businesses are a little bit ahead of the smaller businesses as far as optimism and hiring more. And as you go up the scale from small to large, as reflected in this survey and others I've seen, the optimism goes up the larger the business gets.
Well, good stuff. All right, Todd, do us a favor. Let our listeners know how they can contact you or find out more about Union Bank.
Absolutely. Please go to www.unionbank.com, visit our website, or come and visit us in a local office. We have offices in California, Oregon, and Washington, and we're here to serve. We've been doing it for 150 years for our businesses, and we want to do it for 150 more.
Excellent. Well, Todd, thanks so much for being with us this afternoon.
It was a pleasure. Thank you.
All right. It's Todd Hollander with Union Bank, and you can check it out again at unionbank.com. Special shout out to so many of our friends who have tuned in and checked us out. Philip and Dan and Daryl and Andrew and Heather. We appreciate all of you guys for tuning in and being a part of this, the Experience Pros radio show. That shout out goes to our live feed on Facebook Live. You can check that out at Experience Pros. Back with more positive business talk right after these messages.
America's home for positive business talk. You're listening to the Experience Pros radio show. Contact them on the web at experiencepros.com.
Rallied after President Trump said again that tax cuts are coming. Fed Chair Janet Yellen told Congress again that higher interest rates are also coming. Banks benefit from higher rates. Goldman Sachs stock set a new record. Rates could rise on the news that consumer inflation rose 2.5% for the year. Apple also at a record high today on news that Warren Buffett bought more of Apple stock. Apple is now a $710 billion company, the largest on the planet. Just this afternoon, Time Warner shareholders approved their company's takeover by AT&T. Now that deal still has to be approved by regulators. And Forbes says the New York Knicks are the NBA's most valuable team for the second year in a row. The Knicks are now worth $3.3 billion, even though the team has not been in the playoffs since 2013. Chuck Kamlick, CNBC.
I'm Nick Soboleski, a select corp. Can money buy you happiness? Maybe not, but it sure buys you freedom. Freedom to do more for your family. Freedom to send your kids to the best college. Freedom to retire. But between our government and Wall Street, achieving financial freedom is harder than ever. That's where we come in. Money Talk 1690 AM. We're loaded with programming all day to help you profit from your investments and keep the government from taking it all away from you, because we're all about money. Money Talk 1690 AM.
Hey, I'm Brant. So there's this guy named Jordan. He's a healthy guy. He's a dad of 6, and he works as a guide in Alaska. And he goes to the doctor, true story, he goes to the doctor and he's diagnosed with cancer, stage 4. And here's the thing. He had switched earlier from medical insurance to Medishare, where Christians share each other's medical bills. So the question for Jordan and his wife, Jenny, was, is this actually going to work?
Our medical bills exceeded $160,000. Medishare members shared all our bills.
And it was about more than just the money, too. This is a real community.
Medishare is a family, a group of people that stick with you through the hardest times of your life. I just don't know how I could have done it without Medishare.
It's so worth looking into. There's a reason this is growing so fast. So if you want to find out more, here is a number for you, 844-41-BIBLE. That's 844-41-BIBLE.
Is it time to remodel that outdated kitchen or bathroom? I'm Ted Spear, co-owner of All About Cabinets and Countertops at 35th and Wadsworth. And with the new year comes even more ways to save on your new cabinets and countertops. Our current specials and upgrades will literally save you thousands of dollars on your project. Need a bathroom vanity? We have a huge selection of granite vanity tops and cabinets in stock, all at incredibly low prices. And as always, we upgrade all our cabinets to the latest in anti-slam technology for free. These special prices won't last for long, so there's never been a better time to get started. Let us go to work for you. You can visit our showroom or call us today. 303-456-6400. That's 303-456-6400. Also, to view all our current specials, visit our website at allaboutgreatdeals.com. Make a difference without the expense with All About Cabinets and Countertops.
Eric and I are proud to introduce you to our new sponsor, Peak Advisors.
Our friends Michael Wallace and Bruce Paterka are a couple of great guys who can help you grow your business. They're certified QuickBooks professionals, and they make QuickBooks work for you and your small business. What's more, these guys are CFOs. They really understand business. I was blown away when I saw how they teach clients to make their businesses more profitable using QuickBooks.
But here's a newsflash. The IRS changed its rules for 1099s. Those forms that all business owners have to fill out for their vendors and subcontractors that they pay more than $600. The new deadline is January 31st, 28 days sooner than last year. Michael and Bruce can show you how QuickBooks makes this whole process a whole lot easier and faster. I trust these guys with my wallet.
Go right now to peak2017.com or call 303-801-4772. Again, that's peak, P-E-A-K 2017.com or 303-801-4772.
I can't say that.
But we can. Sometimes you just can't write the words you want to say or find the right words to express your feelings. But we can. We are the right words, the people who help turn your thoughts into words so you can speak your mind. Too shy to ask that special person out? Try us. We're good at that. Love, hate, revenge, laughter. We're the right words, bringing you the words that make saying the hardest things easier. Learn more at therightwords250.com. W-R-I-T-E. Therightwords250.com.
Experience Pros Radio Show, home of the original Fan Braggin' Fridays. Take just 20 seconds to become a business revolutionary by sharing a Fan Braggin' story of great customer service by using the hashtag FanBrag or calling the Fan Braggin' hotline at 855-FAN-BRAG, FANBRAG. Now back to Angel and Eric, the Experience Pros.
Welcome back to the Experience Pros Radio Show with Angel and Eric. So very nice to have you along on the ride with us today. And, I had somebody in my office this morning, Angel, and we were talking about vision and planning ahead and, what's Experience Pros, where are we going in the direction for 2018. And I said, something? I continue on banging this drum. We are starting a revolution in how people treat people in business. It's more than the bottom line.
It is more than the bottom line, but it's important for people to try, to have a greater purpose in their lives, that compass, that guide mark that that today means something bigger. But it's not just for individuals. Businesses also need to establish a clear purpose if they want to thrive, says our next guest, Paul Radoff. He's the founder of the Foundation for Purposeful Organizations and also author of the book, Thriving in a Stakeholder World, Purpose as the New Competitive Advantage. He says that companies with a purpose are on a mission and it can almost feel like a crusade. However, it can be difficult, if not impossible, to get customers, employees, and other people to rally for your cause when your goals are vague and your purpose is less than inspiring. So here to inspire us is Paul Radoff. Paul, welcome to the Experience Pros Radio Show.
Thank you very much for the introduction.
Well, Paul, it is nice to have you on the program, and it couldn't be more timely because of the conversation I had this morning, but it's a similar conversation that I have on a regular basis, and you find the people who get it, you find the people who don't. I would love to hear your thoughts on why is it important for business to have a clearly stated purpose? And we'll come back and talk about how do we clearly state our purpose. So first, why?
It's funny. Yeah. Well, see, organizations, when you think about it, the only reason for an organization to exist is to solve some problem. So just by that, it has a purpose. The purpose of that organization is to solve a problem that couldn't be solved by an individual. Otherwise, why would you bother organizing? So when you think about it that way, that's what organizations are there for. The challenge is to to define that problem in a way that's exciting enough and inspiring enough for people to want to join you in your solving that particular problem, whatever that is.
But just getting this widget into their hands isn't going to be inspiring. And yet so often that's where we start. We have this maybe bright idea. We see a gap in the marketplace, there's a need for this, or I've got this great idea. And I think if I build it, they will come. At what point does not having this vision or this purpose, where does it start to break down in a business, in the business world?
Well, when it's not clearly expressed to everybody around. You said a widget, but the fact is that widget could be what's critical for the success of a machine that will save many people's lives. So when you think of it in that context, it's really not, you're not in the business of the widget, of making that widget. You're in the business of saving the lives as a result of that widget.
Oh, okay. And so I'm going to change.
It's languaging.
Yeah, it is languaging, Paul, and I want to come back and say, yesterday I was watching Andrew Zimmern on the Food Channel, who was doing something with the lady who makes chocolate chip cookies by the millions at the Minnesota State Fair. I don't think she's saving any lives there. What's their purpose?
Well, you'd have to ask them, but there is a problem that she's addressing. She's solving some problem. And if you look at that problem in enough detail, you will see that problem is actually something that's in the way of some larger underlying condition, desired underlying condition, that is not able to be fulfilled in the world because of that problem, or maybe others as well. So maybe it has to do with relating to a time just to enjoy food. Maybe there's something about a spiritual impact that food has on people. Food is critical for our survival, but also we get so much nourishment from it in a psychological level. So maybe it's what she's doing, and I can't speak for her because everyone has their own issue. But maybe it's something in that area, something where it has to do with nourishing the soul.
Makes us feel like grandma's somewhere close.
And Paul, and I think
Whatever.
that all of us probably, we can come up with, we can brainstorm, we can get back to our roots. But even if we have this stated purpose, I think that sometimes we can just allow the day-to-day grind. We get in our routine and we're just going through the motions. How do we ensure that this purpose is still motivating them on the middle of a Wednesday in June when they'd rather be doing something else? I don't know.
Absolutely. So the issue is, how do you get it to be sustained within an organization? And there are really three things that are critical. The first is people have to be inspired by it. So if you're not inspired by it, right off the bat, that's an issue. So the challenge for an organization is to language or phrase a purpose in a way that it becomes meaningful and important to all of the stakeholders, especially their employees, which is an important stakeholder group. So that's the first thing. The second thing is it has to be real. In other words, a lot of organizations state their purpose, but they don't live by it. They live by their business model or the way they make money, which actually should be what they use to fulfill on their purpose.
Right, it should be the other way around.
Yeah, they lose sight of that and they fall in love with their business model, and that's what shows up in the business area. But what if you had a purpose where you actually measured your success in fulfilling on your purpose, and your employees knew how you were doing on that on a regular basis so that they were connecting to it? And then, of course, the third thing is connecting the dots. They need to see how their actions will actually have an impact on achieving that purpose for the organization. Now, you put those three together, people will be fully engaged.
Yeah, it's good stuff. Our guest is Paul Radoff. He's the author of Thriving in a Stakeholder World, Purpose as the New Competitive Advantage. And Paul, this is great stuff. Where do you want people to go to pick up a copy of your book?
They can go to Amazon, and they can just look Paul Radoff, and that'll get there, or by the title, Thriving in a Stakeholder World.
I like it. All right. So final word of wisdom to our listeners today, especially if they're sitting at the helm of a company that has kind of lost their way.
They should ask their immediate supervisor, their boss, anybody in the organization, what is the purpose of this organization? Why are we in business? And get them to start thinking about that issue. Because if they can all get behind that, they will be so much more effective in their organization. And that organization will be much more successful and profitable.
Yeah, that's good stuff. Paul, thank you so much for joining us. We do appreciate you for participating in the program today.
My pleasure.
All right. Wow, good stuff and good feedback from the listeners as well. This is important stuff to have a purpose, to have a mission in business is so important. And like I said, I had that conversation today, but it's a conversation that we have probably 10 times a week, Angel.
It's funny you say that you had that conversation today. I remember seeing a post that came out this morning from, I believe it was the Colorado Women's Chamber. Maybe it actually came in an email to me, but it was talking about their purpose and, their how they were going to accomplish that and how they were going to, I don't know how they're surveying. I was going to try and pull that up, but it's not coming up real quick. And I didn't find it on their Facebook, but it just came out this morning. So I think that right now, this time of year, of course, January is when we all set our individual goals, personal goals. And it's all about, what we're going to achieve this year. I want to be, healthier, wealthier, wiser, whatever all that ends up being. Companies, I think, take a little longer to put all that together and to get that going in the beginning of the year. Just more people,
of course,
more feedback, more input into all of that, and so when you think about just guiding you and having those guiding principles, and where anybody from the CEO to the marketing guy to the sales guy to the distributor, like everybody, even your customers, should be able to say, this is what their purpose is. This is how they serve.
That's exactly it. And it gives us a cultural wake-up call for all those who are not participating in that, let's jump in and make sure that we to boost our training, make sure that our culture is intact, and that those people who are on the front lines, or as Paul Radoff calls them, the primary stakeholders, will be able to communicate that, because if they can't communicate it, you're probably not going to be as effective as you thought. We'll be back right after these messages. You're listening to Angel and Eric. This is the Experience Pros Radio Network, home of positive business talk, where every day we invite you to make a difference. Go check out experiencepros.com.
The Experience Pros, revolutionizing the way people treat people in business.
Denver's Money Talk, 1690 AM.
There is a darkness that seeks to divide us, but we will not let this house fall. Join the Americhicks, Molly and Kim, in a town hall of ideas as they search for the truth and find solutions real folks face today. Government's heavy hand is not the answer. The free market and free minds are. Join the Americhicks discussion today from 5 to 6 p.m. Together, we are a movement. Denver's only female-hosted call-in talk show on your drive home. The Americhicks, Kim Monson and Molly Vogt, weekday afternoons at 5 on KDMT, Denver's Money Talk, 1690 AM.
Imagine what you do with an extra $1,000 or $2,000 in your account every single month. Attend a free class to learn what the Wall Street boys hope you'll never find out. If you call now, the Online Trading Academy will comp the class and even send you home with a free $247 home study course. And then you could start making your dreams a reality. Call 866-816-1918. 866-816-1918. Call 866-816-1918. That's 866-816-1918.
Do you have serious dental problems that are affecting your self-esteem and peace of mind? Do you know that the health of your mouth can affect your overall health? Dr. Barrett's with Barrett's Dental here to let you know that we can help you. We have many patients who travel great distances to see us for their dentistry. That's because we offer total dental solutions, which means we can handle all aspects of your dental care without sending you from doctor to doctor to doctor, which can add significant time and cost to your treatment. We can often do in one day what might take weeks or even months in other offices. Are you afraid of the dentist? We can do your dentistry while you're sleeping. Wouldn't it be nice to take a pill and wake up with your dentistry done? So if you've been putting off taking care of your complex dental problems, call Barrett's Dental today for a free consultation. I promise we'll take great care of you. But don't take my word for it. Check out our reviews on Google.
Call Barrett's Dental today at 303-502-5527 or visit us on the web at denverdentist.com. How many businesses have been around since 1947? How many have grown thanks to word of mouth, satisfied customers, and decades of experience? Anderson's Vacuum has been Denver's #1 choice for vacuums since 1947. They sell and service all major brands, including Miele, Sebo, and Oric. Get unmatched personal service and the benefit of an extremely experienced staff. Visit Anderson's Vacuum in Inglewood, where you can demo every vacuum, try them out, see what works for you. Online at andersonsvacuum.com.
This is Catherine Cooper. My husband, retired Master Gunnery Sergeant Jeffrey Cooper, and I survived a near-death head-on motorcycle crash. We called attorney Jeremy Cave for help. He worked day and night to get us what we were entitled to. Unlike a lot of attorneys today, Jeremy Cave even makes house calls. He's been there for us every step of the way. He helped us understand our rights and answered all of our questions. Cave Law understands that many of you folks who listen to this station prefer to have a lawyer who sees things from your point of view. Well, I certainly do. I think it's time to put the personal back into handling personal injury.
Jeremy Cave only gets paid when you do. Call Cave Law now for a free at-home consultation. 720-213-3737. If you're injured in an accident, call 720-213-3737 or check out the brand new website, cavelawyer.com. That's cavelawyer.com. Personal and caring service from Cave Law. Call Jeremy today, 720-213-3737.
Hey there, Dan Cicchini, owner of Done Right Kitchens and Baths, Windows and Doors. There's absolutely no reason why right now can't be your time to get started on that beautiful new kitchen or that awesome bath you've always wanted. Right, Todd?
Of course, Dad. With our unique cabinet resurfacing, they'll get that beautiful new kitchen, and without the mess and expensive replacement, and in a shorter time, too.
Boy, you've got that right, Todd. But if an all-new kitchen is on their wish list, we'll build it from the bottom up, first rate all the way. And let's not forget that very special room, the bath. What about that?
Well, hey, turning leaky, moldy, smelly baths into awesome rooms, That's what we do. Whether it's a tub-to-shower conversion or a whole new 5-piece bath, our family business will make it special, just like we've done for decades.
Okay, Todd. So, folks, give us a call and see what our family can do for your family. Kitchens, baths, counters, and floors, and even replacement windows and doors. You have our word, we'll treat you right at Done Right. 303-722-2295, 800-362-8370, or DoneRightKitchens.com.
Hi, this is Clyde with Windows America. Help us celebrate our 15th year helping Denver homeowners improve their homes. A-plus rating with the BBB, award-winning contractor with Angie's List. There has never been a better time to buy windows. The technology of glass and windows has come so far. Right now, we're giving away a free dinner for two with every qualifying estimate. Call us at 1-877-WINDOWS for your free estimate, or go to our website, windowsam.com. 1-877-WINDOWS, or go to our website, windowsam.com.
Revolutionizing the way people treat people in business. The Experience Pros, America's home for positive business talk.
Welcome back to the Experience Pros Radio Show. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day to join us for ours. Is this Billy Joel? Jackson Brown. I thought it was Billy Joel. I saw Billy Joel's ex on TV this morning. She was looking, wow, Christy Brinkley. And her two daughters, both Sports Illustrated models, now all three on the same photo shoot. Thought it was Billy Joel. Never mind. Have you met our friend? Have you met our friends Michael Wallace and Bruce Paterka over at Peak Advisors? If not, you are missing out on an opportunity to increase your business and develop your bottom line. I mean that with everything I've got. A couple of great guys who can help you grow their business because they are certified QuickBooks professionals, and they make QuickBooks work for you and your small business. What's more, they're both CFOs. They're chief financial officers. They know how business runs. They know how to make those numbers sing. And we were both completely blown away when we saw how easy it was for them to teach their clients how to make QuickBooks profitable, which is why we talk about them every day. Michael and Bruce can show you how to make QuickBooks work easier, faster, and more profitable for your business. You can trust them with your wallet, but you have to contact them in order for them to know that you need their services. Peak2017.com, that's P-E-A-K 2017.com is their website, or you can give them a call at 303-801-4772. 303-801-4772. And go tell Bruce or Michael, Eric and Angel sent you. They'll be very helpful to you. I promise you that.
They definitely will. Well, there's a San Francisco startup company that says it now has, it's a startup, remember that?
Startup.
The largest satellite fleet ever.
Satellite what?
Fleet. They just launched nearly 100 satellites.
Like in the sky satellites?
Into the sky so that it can photograph the entire world every day.
How does a startup get enough money to launch one satellite?
Well, here's the thing. They on Tuesday, yesterday.
That was
yesterday. Yeah. I'm like, what day of the week are we?
Check the clock.
Right. This week, recently, they launched 88 satellites capable of taking images of the Earth's surface, which puts them within reach of its goal of being able to photograph the surface of the entire world on a daily basis.
Wow.
They were sent aboard a rocket launched by the Indian Space Research Organization, and they'll be coming online over the next 3 months.
Okay.
Snap images
So
of the
they
world
used
below.
Indian rockets to get the satellites up. Okay.
Yeah, and they're little. They said traditional satellites are about the size of a bus.
Yeah.
But they use 9-pound satellites that are only slightly larger than a brick. So you won't be able to see these.
9-pound satellites coming in right here.
Right? You won't be able to see them. Of course, it keeps their costs down, lets the company build a bigger fleet, covering more surface area. So
they shot
your money
mini
issue.
cameras.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Wow. So with the new batch of 88 that just went up, they now have 144 satellites that are orbiting the Earth, and they thought it would take anywhere between 100 to 150 of them to photograph the entire surface of the Earth.
Do you have to get permission from the space police
to do that?
To go up and litter the sky with Hundreds
of
9-pound
almost
satellites?
150 of them. Now they're little, so there's a lot of debris up there already.
Well, sure, but adding 150 more
Little ones, just little ones.
I'm pretty sure a small thing will damage your spaceship anyways.
They're only 9 pounds. They're only 9 pounds. They're just little. They're just little ones. They're cute.
Right.
They're cute little satellites.
Cute little satellites.
Right? Now they are not used to take close-up. So while they're going to get the entire Earth, it's really just more like Google Earth type pictures.
Who's going to pay them for that? Does it
not
say in the
close-up
article?
images. You can't get your license plate. Can't get a person's face
Yet.
or anything yet. Yet, right?
Right.
Yet.
Yeah, you can, but that's not what we're using it for. I mean, we're not going to set up, 640 by 480 old image technology. I'm pretty sure it's a 12 megapixel satellite camera.
Right. There's already another San Francisco startup called Spire that already has a fleet of mini satellites up in the air, though their primary target is the world's oceans.
Why are we?
So as launches become less expensive, the barriers to entry are lower. There's actually a backlog of companies trying to get into space, and the U.S. government is granting waivers to launch with Indian companies, a practice that's usually prohibited.
Right.
However, this new company that just launched the 88, they received such a waiver to get into space.
Here in Denver, we've got quite a space technology bent, if you will. We've got United Launch Alliance, we've got Lockheed Martin, and a number of others who are involved in the space arena. And it takes special passcodes to get admitted into the buildings, much less to build the stuff that goes up into the space. I could launch you. You're
I'm a little bigger than
you're
9
about
pounds.
9 pounds.
Yeah.
You're not much
My
more.
left foot. Okay, so that's pretty cool, right? That they're up there. It's just good to
Did
know
they do a
that somebody's
Kickstarter?
always watching. It didn't say
It doesn't
how they
say.
funded it, but it's not as expensive as it used to be.
When you just throw stuff up
So
there. And
have
let
you
it float.
fallen? Have you fallen for the recent phone scammers
I don't
that have
think
been
so.
going on? They say that phone scams are on the rise. And there's one thing that you might be falling for, actually, and you might not even realize
Is
it.
she tall and blonde?
Because if you fall for this phone scam, you'll be a target forever.
Oh.
And the simple thing that you did was you answered your phone from an unknown number and said, hello.
Just said hello.
Just saying hello.
I know the phone scam that has you ask a question. Did you call this? And you say yes.
Right.
And it records the yes. And now it
Yeah.
applies that to various other things.
Yeah,
Just
if you're
saying
getting,
hello.
Just saying hello. They say suddenly you're getting more hang-up calls. It's some kind of scam, but how can that possibly work? The answer: the hang-up calls are the first move in a long game to try to scam you, because they're just using that first phone call to verify that your number is actually a real person's number and that it's being used. And so that behavior right there, you are statistically likely to pick up the phone when the phone rings. Now, don't worry.
No
You're in
worries.
good company.
Yeah.
Thousands and thousands and thousands of people answer the phone when they don't recognize
This should answer
the
like your
phone number.
husband answers. This Jay.
This Jay.
This Jay.
This Jay. It gets his all deep, tusty voice. But don't answer calls from numbers that don't look familiar. And if you do answer, don't say hello. And if they give you an option to press 2 to be removed from the list, don't
Don't
do
push any
it.
buttons.
It re-verifies that you're a real person.
All right, we got to take a quick break for the top of the hour news. I just want to give a shout out to listener Ryan. The question, is she tall and blonde, is a logical and fair question in all phone scam conversations. Back after these messages.
You're listening to the Experience Pros Radio Show, America's home for positive business talk. This is the Experience Pros Radio Show with business revolutionaries Angel Tussey and Eric Raver. For more information, you can contact the Experience Pros by calling 720-344-2446 or contact them on the web at experiencepros.com or on Facebook and Twitter at Experience Pros. If your customers love you, we want to know you. What are you waiting for? Join the revolution.
KDMT Arvada Denver. Breaking business news and smart ideas on how to spend and invest. Denver's Money Talk, 1690 AM.
Three, 2, 1.
I'll bet you're going to draw the short straw.
Hi, this is Angel, and coming up on the next Experience Pros radio show,
it's rock, paper, scissors.
We're going to give you a tip on how to. We're going to give you a tip on how. Jeez. We're going to give you a tip on how to always make the best decision.
Just choose me.
Positive Business Talk weekday afternoons right here on the Experience Pros radio show.
That's a good choice.
Sorry about that.
One 800-445-6363. 1-800-445-6363. Or go to SelectQuote.com. We shop, you save. Get full details on the example policy at SelectQuote.com/commercials. Your price can vary depending on your health, issuing company, and other factors. Not available in all states.
Breaking news this hour from townhall.com. I'm Keith Peters. President Trump's nominee to be Labor Secretary has withdrawn his nomination.
In a statement, Andrew Puzder says he was honored to have been considered for the job to put America's workers and businesses back on the path to sustainable prosperity. The fast food executive withdrew his nomination after his chances of gaining Senate approval began to crumble when Democrats and some Republicans raised some concerns. Chief among them was Puzder's failure to pay taxes for 5 years on a former housekeeper who was not authorized to work in the U.S. Andrew Puzder's decision to withdraw his nomination came after his confirmation hearing was postponed multiple times. Linda Kenyon, Capitol Hill.
It looks like the strained relationship between Israel and the White House is over. President Trump says he's pleased to welcome Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu to the White House.
With this visit, the United States again reaffirms our unbreakable bond with our cherished ally, Israel.
Prime Minister Netanyahu says the U.S. and Israel have remained the best of allies.
Our alliance has been remarkably strong. But under your leadership, I'm confident it will get even stronger.
California water officials say they're making great progress on the repairs to the damaged spillways of the nation's tallest dam. They say Oroville Lake behind the dam is draining rapidly and has dropped some 20 feet since it reached capacity early Sunday and overflowed an emergency spillway. Mugshot's coffee house owner Lori Pierce says there are a lot of smiles on the faces of people in and around Oroville.
Now everybody's happy to be back. All the staff that works here was real happy last night to get the call to ready to go, make some coffee.
A storm later today appears to be small, and officials expect the reservoir's water levels to keep shrinking. On Wall Street, the Dow up by 107 points to 20,611. The Nasdaq rose 37. The S&P advanced 12. More on these stories at townhall.com.
For me, it was the big S-Class from the 90s. Beautiful. My friend's dad had one.
The SL. All of the SLs. I've been watching those since I was a kid.
I think the 1971 SC was the first Mercedes that just blew me away.
Everyone remembers the first time they saw one, and the day they began to long for a Mercedes-Benz of their own. Well, that day may be a lot closer than you think. With a certified pre-owned Mercedes-Benz, you can experience the luxury, the unparalleled safety, the performance, and the style Mercedes-Benz is famous for at a price you can afford. Beautiful SUVs, sedans, coupes, and convertibles that are factory certified and covered by an unlimited mileage warranty for up to 3 years, so you can drive without a worry for as far as you like. And during the Certified Pre-Owned Sales event going on now through February 28th, you can receive 2 years of complimentary prepaid maintenance and special financing available through Mercedes-Benz Financial Services, only at your authorized Mercedes-Benz dealer. You've waited long enough.
See your authorized Mercedes-Benz dealer for complete details and limitations on certified pre-owned warranties.
Hi, I'm Jimmy Sangenberger, host of Business for Breakfast on KDMT, Denver's Money Talk, 1690 AM. Running a small business, I know the unique challenges that businesses face in the Colorado marketplace. That expertise, along with great guests from the capital to the backbone of America, make this show get you ready for your business day. So wake up with me at 5 a.m. on KDMT, Denver's Money Talk.
Business for Breakfast with Jimmy Sangenberger on Denver's Money Talk, 1690 AM.
Life, it's yours to own. When you're considering the purchase or refinance of a home, you want to know that the people helping you are looking out for your best interests, not just the best interest rates. Cheryl Braunschweiger and her team at Nova Home Loans are trusted members of the Experience Pros Network. And yes, they're ready to help you today. Call today, 720-279-5939. That's 720-279-5939. And let Nova Home Loans take care of everything. Life, it's yours to own. Nova Home Loans can help. NMLS ID 3087.
You're listening to the Experience Pros Radio Show, the most positive business talk show in America. Best-selling authors of Lists That Saved My Business and founders of the Extreme Customer Service Directory, Angel Tussey and Eric Raymer, are inspiring you to get your business right. They know the customer experience isn't just another thing, it's the only thing. Let's join Angel and Eric for today's program.
Hello and welcome back to the Experience Pros Radio Show with Angel and Eric. Very nice to have you along with us. We are here reminding you that small business is big business, and your business is our business. And it is another beautiful day here in the Denver metro area, and wherever you are, we hope that it is beautiful as well.
Absolutely, absolutely. We're getting through, right? We managed through our Valentine's comas.
Yes. Yes, although there's...
Are you still eating chocolate?
No, I received 3 pieces of chocolate yesterday, and
I stole one of them.
You did steal one of them.
I didn't eat it, though. I still have it.
I generously allowed you to go ahead and take care of that. But no, nope.
Okay.
Not still eating chocolate. There is one couple, though, that may need therapy after the wife accidentally donated her husband's secret $8,000 cash stash to Goodwill.
Oh, did he have a little cash stash,
apparently,
like in an old raincoat or something?
California woman who accidentally donated a shirt concealing her husband's secret stash of $8,000 cash.
$8,000 of cash at home.
Bob Hoffman.
Why?
He is 65 years old. He lives in Placentia, and that's right next to where I grew up. He says, she's a California woman who accidentally donated a shirt concealing husband's secret stash of $8,000 cash to Goodwill, said recovering the money was a miracle. Apparently she got it back.
Ooh, wow. How?
Yeah. He'd been saving up the money in secret for years to take his wife, Linda, on her dream vacation to Italy.
Oh my gosh. How
My plan was to save $10,000. Then one day I was going to walk up to her and say, we don't have to wish anymore. He said he decided to put the vacation plans on hold recently when the relative fell on hard times, about to be evicted. So he took money out of the bank and planned to present it to the relative. And so they called the next morning from Goodwill saying they found the shirt and in the envelope in a pile of clothes. She says, I describe it as a miracle. I would say it was the honest people that touched our hearts the most. To know is how honest they were. So,
right? Yeah, to know that they found it and called her.
Right.
Got in touch with her because obviously, right, this was a mistake. I remember my mom once buying a coat at a thrift store.
Yeah.
And she took the coat in to have it dry cleaned. And, now she's getting ready to drop it off at the dry cleaner. She's cleaning out the pockets because this is what you do.
Sure.
And she found a $20 bill in the pocket of the coat. So it paid for the coat and the dry cleaning.
There you go. Right. I think a lot of us think that way. And
do you ever love it when you put on like a jacket or something, or pull out a purse that you haven't used since last year, last winter or last spring? As we get, here in Colorado, we kind of have a seasonal clothes.
Sure.
Right. Because the seasons are so drastic. And so we might not wear a coat, for 6, 8, 9 months.
Right.
And you pull it out, you put your hands in the pocket, and you're like,
lucky, it's payday.
It is. It's kind of exciting.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think we should just put money in there always.
Just hope.
Just hope that you'll remember, and it'll be a surprise.
It'll be a surprise for somebody, one way or the other.
Right, unless you donate it.
Good people are all over the place. Glen Heights, Texas, dash cam video captured how a rookie Glen Heights police officer quickly moved a burning truck from a Jack in the Box drive-through. Did you hear about this overnight yesterday it was? The fire actually happened on Saturday night. It was reported overnight and made the wires this morning. That in Glen Heights, Texas, a truck drove up to the Jack in the Box drive-through and burst into flame. Well, the guy driving the truck got out. I got to get out of here. So he took off. Police officers sitting across the street saw the whole thing and ran around in his cruiser and pushed the car away from the building. Or pushed the truck away from the building.
Wow.
Yeah. Wow. Crazy.
Yeah.
How about this one? Another Texas couple. There's lots of stuff happening out in Texas. 6 tornadoes in Houston touchdown. Houston is reeling from the ridiculous number of tornadoes that have just happened. That wasn't a news story, but now they said Texas reminded me of that news story. A Texas couple posted a video online showing the, quote, secret hidden door that they disguised as a part of an external wall in their house. The Austin couple said they wanted to try something unusual with the side door of their home, so they covered it in siding identical to the external wall and installed a hose tap to function as a doorknob.
What?
It looks like nothing but a hose coming outside the side of the door. But when you grab that and pull, by golly, you are let into the house.
By golly?
By golly.
By golly? That is like somebody who is, I don't know, clever, I guess.
Speaking of clever, those folks at the Mexican-U.S. border think that they're pretty clever. There is a catapult that has been installed on the wall that is part of the U.S.-Mexican border. And the catapult, the headline is President Trump's going to need a taller wall. The catapult is, people bring it down, load it up with drugs, and fling it across the border.
Oh, goodness.
You don't have to cross the border anymore.
Just fling. You
fling,
just have good flinging skills.
Fling the drugs.
Hey, Tina, how do you practice for that?
Nope.
Like how far can you fling?
I don't fling at all.
Well, we all need, I don't know.
How about this in the finance sector? They say that the New York Times reports that banks are planning to ditch the plastic in favor of a mobile option, which would allow you to pull out cash using just your cell phone at the local ATM. You may be able to kiss the days of fumbling with your ATM card. Farewell.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
So far, J.P. Morgan Chase is the only bank to launch the technology in select cities. But, they're interested. Bank of America, Wells Fargo plan to follow suit later in 2017. Chase's cardless ATM withdrawal has been met with a little bit of controversy. Anytime you change something, especially when it comes to money, we'll probably have some
Does it eliminate the idea that you can, those skimmers?
Well,
the little skimmer things.
It's probably driven by something like that. It says Chase's cardless ATM has been met with some controversy. One customer who never opted to use the technology had nearly $3,000 stolen from her account. Chase did act quickly to reimburse the woman, and the company says they put up more safeguards to provide from this. But it's the same technology being used as Apple Pay. Now.
Okay.
So they're moving into that digital wallet that would enable customers to withdraw cash using only the banking app. And I would imagine that eventually it would eliminate at least that point of entry for criminal activity with those skimmers. in my local neighborhood.
It'll just now open up something new.
Probably.
Always does.
Lady
right?
said somebody stole $3,000 from her. In the neighborhood in which we both live, the skimmers came back in a big way at our local gas station. And for a couple of weeks in Highlands Ranch, Colorado, there were people talking about skimmers being placed into the local gas station. And,
right. It's very scary because it's been repeatedly. They go and they find the skimmers, they remove them, and then they show back up again.
Well, and to install one of these skimmers, if you are a criminal and you want to install one of these skimmers, it simply looks like you are sliding your card in and sliding it out. And that's all it takes to put this insert into the real insert, if you will. I don't know what you call it, but yeah, it's horrible. And you want better policing of these things, but maybe this no card technology will be the next thing.
It'll be the next thing, and until the next thing comes along. And
Right.
I think this is it. We need to we grow, we adapt, we learn, we get safer every time. The banks get smarter as to recognizing when fraud has happened. And I think we all now get used to the phone calls and the idea that we show up to use our credit card or something, and we get a phone call from our creditor saying, we think your card's been compromised. And it's now just a piece of, and that I think that's just part of our society now.
Well,
we have to take precautions, but they keep trying.
What you need is a pet squirrel.
I do.
Yeah. An Idaho man returned home to discover that his pet squirrel had protected his home from would-be burglars while he was away. Adam Pearl noticed several signs of break-in before walking into his home, where his pet squirrel Joey had been left alone. And apparently the squirrel made a lot of noise and scared the burglars off. That's the news. We'll be back with more positive business talk right after these messages. You're listening to Angel and Eric, and this is the Experience Pros Radio Show, home of ExperienceProsDeals.com. Stay with us. We'll be back after these messages.
America's home for positive business talk. You're listening to the Experience Pros Radio Show. Contact them on the web at ExperiencePros.com.
Denver's Money Talk, 1690 AM.
This is a special notice to all U.S. taxpayers. If you owe the IRS or state back taxes and cannot afford to pay them back, there's good news. Due to the financial hardship many are facing in today's economy, the IRS has made it easier to settle delinquent tax problems through a federal program called the Fresh Start Initiative. Qualifying for this program will resolve your tax problem, end all collections, and possibly reduce your back taxes by up to 90%. If you are facing wage garnishments, liens, bank levies, audits, or payroll taxes, it's not too late. Your circumstances may qualify you for this special program, protecting your savings and your assets. If you owe the IRS or state back taxes and cannot afford to pay them back, there's no need to worry anymore. Call the hotline at Victory Tax Solutions to see if you qualify and potentially save thousands. For this free information, call 800-222-1963. 800-222-1963. That's 800-222-1963.
Fairway Independent Mortgage Colorado wants to know, what does owning a home mean to you?
Opening the door to my home for the first time meant a fresh start for me and my children. To me, home ownership means independence. After surviving an abusive marriage and divorce, home ownership empowered us, and we are finally free.
Whether you're a first-time home buyer like Chantel, you're looking to refinance, or are in the market for a bigger home, the team at Fairway Mortgage Colorado is here to help you. Service, speed, and satisfaction is at the forefront of everything they do, meaning you always have someone in your corner to provide you with the best lending options, keeping you updated and on track to your dream home. Take the first step today at fairwaymortgagecolorado.com. Fairway Independent Mortgage Corporation, NMLS number 2289, is an equal housing lender. This is not an offer to enter into an agreement. Not all customers will qualify. Information, rates, and programs are subject to change without notice. All products are subject to credit and property approval. A pre-qualification is not an approval of credit and does not signify that underwriting requirements have been met. Branch NMLS number 1122559. Regulated by the Colorado Division of Real Estate.
Hi, this is Hugh Hewitt for Granite Transformation. If it's time to redo your kitchen and your bath, this is a product you really have to see to believe. Beautiful granite mosaic or recycled glass countertops measured and cut to fit right over your existing countertops, so there's no messy tear out of your old counters. These are heat and stain resistant. They never need sealing, but most importantly, they are affordable and can be installed in most cases in just one day. So give Todd Dutton and the staff at Granite Transformation the chance to earn your business. Call them today at 303-420-8920. It's 303-420-8920. I'm sure you'll be as impressed as I was. I've met Todd, so make sure you tell him that I told you to call and receive a free stainless steel sink and save an additional 10% just by stopping by their showroom. Let Todd and the folks at Granite Transformation save you time, money, and headaches. Call today at 303-420-8920. It's 303-420-8920. One of the great things I took away from my time in Colorado is a friendship with Todd. Make him your friend as well. Call 303-420-8920.
When you've worked with every vacuum brand known for over 6 decades, you learn a thing or two. Anderson's Vacuum in Inglewood has been repairing vacuums of all kinds since 1947. They carry over $1 million worth of vacuums and parts, and you can't put a price on the experience. That service has grown to include central vacuums, steamers, lamps, and sewing machines. Want to be impressed? Visit Anderson's Vacuum in Inglewood. Want to be blown away? Put them to the test. Find them at andersonsvacuum.com.
Hey there, Dan Cicchini, owner of Done Right Kitchens and Baths, Windows and Doors. There's absolutely no reason why right now can't be your time to get started on that beautiful new kitchen or that awesome bath you've always wanted. See what our family can do for your family. 800-362-8370.
Question: would you seat your 3-year-old child on a windowsill? And would you seat them in a car seat that's not the correct one? Secure their future. Seat them in the correct car seat. More info at safercar.gov/the right seat. A message from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
This is the Experience Pros Radio Show. Got an opinion or want to ask us a question? Email radio@experiencepros.com or message us on the Experience Pros Facebook page, and we'll interact with you live on the show.
Welcome back to the Experience Pros Radio Show. We do want to interact with you, so go ahead and pick up that phone. Call us at 855-FANBRAG, or let us know that you're watching on the Experience Pros Facebook live feed with BeLive.tv. We're so grateful for the technology that is working and allows us to communicate with them. Excited for our next guest.
Well, we bring in Pam Atherton every month just for some media training. She's an award-winning media trainer. She actually learned radio right. She's hosted a top-rated morning show. She's won over 17 awards for news. She is one of the best people to interview celebrities that we have ever met. She's also one of the best trainers as well. She's interviewed Buzz Aldrin, Ted Kennedy, Weird Al Yankovic, right? I mean, some real big names, Madeleine Albright, Kenny Loggins. I'm reading Willie Nelson, Cher. And now we have her here on the Experience Pros Radio Show. You can also find more about Pam Atherton on her website called acloserlookradio.com. acloserlookradio.com. Pamela Atherton, welcome.
Thank you very much. And I thought today that we'd kind of turn the tables on you, because normally we discuss business challenges and get some insight into business marketing. And I got to thinking, a lot of people don't know your backstory, your involvement in business, and what you've learned. So I thought we'd turn the tables and talk about you, especially since in your new time slot, you've got some new listeners.
You
are you
sneaky
okay with that?
kumquat, you. All right, we'll play along with you. Absolutely. We've built up enough trust to do that.
All right.
I just think people need to know who you are. So let's tell them. So a lot of us know you from the radio, because Experience for Pros has been on for years now. But what we don't know is, what did you do before you started radio? What were you involved in?
Well, believe it or not, Pam, I worked for the PGA. I worked for a golf tournament for 10 years here with a big tournament that actually came through town every year here in Colorado, before Eric hired me to be his administrative assistant to help him, because he was a traveling, can I say illusionist?
I think it's appropriate to say illusionist. Magician.
Okay.
Magician, people say, oh, what instrument did you play? But the truth of the matter is, I floated women in the air and cut them in 6 pieces for a living for 5 world tours and a couple of decades. And
travel schedule, we started putting together some workshops where he could incorporate magic into the workshops to make them more memorable. And with my background on the PGA, the high level of customer service that was required there, we focused on customer service being our niche.
I was going to say that you probably noticed that, both of you, that customer service was perhaps lacking in a lot of areas, and so you decided to fill that niche?
Absolutely. It was, if you are much of a reader in business books, there's a book out there called The Blue Ocean Theory, I think is what it's called. And the idea of it is you find out what other people are not doing, and then you go fill that space. And for us, it was customer service and the customer experience.
Right. And that's a new thing that we're learning about now in marketing, is that customer service makes you sound like you have an inanimate object, like you're servicing your car.
Right.
But it's really the experience that people go through from the minute they hear about you till way after the job is done. And so you started Experience Pros and did what? You did workshops and stuff for a long time before you got into radio.
We were doing workshops. We worked with companies. We'd go in and train their entire staff, their call centers, their sales staff on retention, just all about that customer experience. Because up until then, it was really, we kind of come off of a boom where if you had a cash register and you stood behind it, that was enough for building business.
Right.
And the competition, the amount of competition with social media coming on the rise, with people being able to interact with their customers, and now it being what at the time, we called it a push versus a pull market. So traditional advertising, traditional methodology of cold calling and pushing your product out to your customer when you wanted them to see it, versus now customers pulling at their leisure, right? At their convenience, maybe after hours because of the internet. And so helping companies take that switch. So we did workshops throughout all over, up and down the Front Range for business groups. And then we went into companies and trained them as well.
And I can see from when I know you that you went from customer service and expanded into all of business for small business, because you saw, again, there were a lot of people that needed marketing information and sales information, et cetera.
Well, Pam, the fact of the matter is you can have your systems and you can have your processes, and we acknowledge and give honor to the fact that everybody must. But the fact of the matter is, if you don't have your customer experience dialed in, then you will forever be trying to recreate the wheel by getting new customers in as you're not loving on them. The reality, and this is our big secret, if you will, is that you're sitting on a gold mine with your existing customer database. We all talk about the need for word of mouth marketing or word of mouth referrals, and they're great. Well, the Word of Mouth Marketing Association, yes, there is one, says that only accounts for 13% of all new business ever. We still agree it's the best kind, but if you don't have a system for developing that, then you're on the short side of a very long uphill process, and it starts over every month. So that's really kind of what we got into.
Right, to retain versus to always try to get new business. So you have seen a lot of businesses. You've worked with a lot of businesses. What do you see as the biggest challenge with most of the businesses today that just makes you go crazy, that you're like, fix this?
Well, a lot of it does focus around taking care of their customers, customer retention, loyalty, all of that customer experience. But probably the one that breaks my heart the most, Pam, is they just think small.
Yep.
Right? They're thinking too small. They get caught up in the weeds, the drama, the gossip.
And then they quit too early. That's true.
They're thinking too small, and rather putting themselves out there, growing, taking the challenge, taking the leap, having the faith that, that consistency, but they quit too soon. They surround themselves with people who think small, and just kind of accept the status quo. And they think, well, gosh, I've been putting everything I've got into this. And no, you haven't. You put 8 hours in last week, right? Let's actually treat it like a real business and get this thing off the ground.
Yeah. Pam, let's do this. I'm aware of the time, and I want to make sure, because in about 30 seconds, we're going to get booted off to the commercial.
Oh, wow.
But can you stay with us and hang out with us?
Sure, if that's okay.
All right.
Actually, Pamela, sweetie, we have a guest lined up in the next segment after you.
Yeah, my mistake. Forgive me, Pam.
Let's give some
We'll
contact
just do it
information.
another time.
We definitely will. How do people follow
You
you?
can get a hold of me. That's right. At speaker@PamAtherton.com is how you can email me. You can find me on Facebook as Pam Atherton. And, of course, you can always call the Experience Pros because they know how to get a hold of me.
We certainly do. Pam, I apologize. Time flies when you're having fun, and we have way too much fun with you, but we will have you back. All right, folks, don't go anywhere. We've got more positive business talk just ahead, and another great guest, please forgive. And we'll be back after these messages. Eric and Angel on the Experience Pros Radio Network.
The Experience Pros, revolutionizing the way people treat people in business.
Hanson, CNBC, new highs on Wall Street on tax reform hopes as well as strong retail sales and consumer prices. The Dow jumps 107 points for its fifth straight day of gains. The Nasdaq climbs 36. The S&P rises 11. The Nasdaq and the S&P both posting their seventh day in a row of gains. The Nasdaq has now gained more in 2017 than it did in all of 2016. Crude oil settled down 9 cents to $53.11 a barrel. Home builders a little less confident. The National Association of Home Builders survey fell this month, reflecting a dimmer outlook on sales and fewer would-be buyers. More homeowners are behind on their mortgage payments. The Mortgage Bankers Association says delinquencies were up in the final quarter of 2016, but fewer went into foreclosure. Procter & Gamble jumped to a 2-year high after Trian Fund disclosed a stake in the consumer goods company. Tanya Hanson, CNBC Radio.
The Colorado Business Roundtable brings you Connect and Collaborate weekdays from 4 to 5 p.m. here on Denver's Money Talk, 1690 a.m. Hear from key leaders in Colorado's business community, advocating for proactive business policies that strengthen the economy and help business grow and thrive in Colorado, as well as helping to make Colorado the best place to live now and for generations to come. Connect and Collaborate weekdays from 4 to 5 p.m. right here on Denver's Money Talk, 1690 and Money Talk 1690.
This is Dan Kaplis. A wise person once told me, if you don't have a seat at the table, you are going to end up on the menu. I think that applies directly to personal injury and wrongful death cases. If you're not represented by a highly accomplished law firm, the insurance company is probably going to eat you for lunch and you'll never even know it. So if you want to make sure that you and your claim are treated with the respect you deserve, give me a call. We are a serious firm for serious cases. And for 30 years, we have proven our ability to go up against the best the other side has to offer and to win. Our personal injury clients include everyone from the poorest of the poor to CEOs, teachers, farmers, police officers, doctors, lawyers, and professional athletes. We are able to make the vast resources of our firm available to good people from all walks of life by taking righteous cases on a percentage fee basis. You can reach me at 303-770-5551. That's 303-770-5551 or dankapleslaw.com. That's dankapleslaw.com.
Hello, Belly Flattening Helpline.
Hi, is this the number for the free trial of that belly flattening breakthrough Somabiotics?
It is. We're giving away free trials to anyone, male or female, who's over 18 and wants to flatten their belly fast.
I heard that Somabiotics is so effective it can actually cleanse pounds of sludge from your belly. Is that true?
Sure is. Somabiotics is scientifically formulated with natural ingredients to flatten bloated bellies fast by cleansing pounds of rotting food and toxic sludge from your body. It even combats periodic heartburn and acid reflux, so you'll look and feel great. If your belly flattening results are too dramatic, simply reduce use to every other day.
Wow, I'm glad I called.
If you're over 18 and want to flatten your belly fast, call now for a free trial of Somabiotics. 1-800-900-6737. But hurry, call now for details while they're still giving these trials away for free. 1-800-900-6737. If lines are busy, try again. That's 1-800-900-6737.
Hi, this is Andrew Stone. After I was injured in a rear-end collision in Boulder, I called attorney Jeremy Cave for help. I can honestly say Jeremy worked day and night to get me what I was entitled to. Unlike a lot of attorneys today, Jeremy puts the personal in personal injury. He relieved me of stress and was there for me every step of the way. Cave Law understands that many of you who listen to this station prefer to have a lawyer who sees things from your point of view. I found it with Cave Law. I think it's time to put the personal back into handling personal injury. Call Jeremy Cave today at 720 720-213-3737. Jeremy Cave only gets paid when you do. Call Cave Law now for a free at-home consultation. 720-213-3737. If you're injured in an accident, call 720-213-3737 or check out his brand new website, cavelawyer.com. That's cavelawyer.com. Personal and caring service from Cave Law. Call Jeremy today, 720-213-3737.
I can't say that.
But we can. Sometimes you just can't write the words you want to say or find the right words to express your feelings. But we can. We are the right words, the people who help turn your thoughts into words so you can speak your mind. Too shy to ask that special person out? Try us. We're good at that. Love, hate, revenge, laughter. We're the right words, bringing you the words that make saying the hardest things easier. Learn more at therightwords250.com. WRITE. Therightwords250.com.
The Experience Pros Radio Show, home of the original Fan Braggin' Fridays. Take just 20 seconds to become a business revolutionary by sharing a Fan Braggin' story of great customer service by using the hashtag FanBrag or calling the Fan Braggin' hotline at 855-FAN-BRAG, FANBRAG. Now back to Angel and Eric, the Experience Pros.
Welcome back to the Experience Pros Radio Show, home of positive business talk. Very nice to have you along with us today. You know, I'm a big fan of women and also women in executive roles. And our next guest is going to say we're not quite there yet.
Right. Our guest is Melissa Greenwell. She's the COO of the sports apparel company, The Finish Line, also author of the forthcoming book, Money on the Table. She contends that most women's initiative programs fail to actually help women get top jobs in corporate America. So she's here to make a strong argument that having more women leaders has a direct and positive impact on your company's bottom line. Melissa Greenwell, welcome to the Experience Pros Radio Show.
Melissa,
thank you very much.
Very nice to have you with us. What's, in your opinion, what is it that's hampering women's progress towards the top level executive roles?
Well, really, it's the lack of female talent that we have in the pipeline. So many women are still taking themselves out of the corporate environment about the time that they're really hitting strides in their careers. So they've invested in their education, and companies have invested in their development and their training. But, a lot of times women are ready to start families, and they just don't find corporate environment to be flexible enough. So they leave, and they don't necessarily leave to stay home. They work differently, and they're starting the majority of the new businesses in the United States today. So women are not working. They're just choosing to work differently.
You know, that makes sense, Melissa, because I remember wanting to do something to contribute, to use my skill set, but needed the flexibility that would work around me being a mom too. And I don't know, I felt like Superwoman sometimes. I thought I could do it all. I could, be this great mom and also still contribute financially to my household and find some place that could use my gifts and talents. So which is it, the catch-22? Do we need, the corporations to be more flexible to embrace, the family, or do women just go off and lead their own companies and start new things that have this flexibility already built in?
Well, I believe that if corporations don't have the thinking of both men and women, they're really not going to get the best products, the best services, and the best solutions for their customers. So I think corporations really miss out when we don't have gender diversity in thinking. So, corporations need to learn how to be more flexible. They need to learn how to create a strategy that's going to retain their female talent, which, oh, by the way, is also important in retaining millennial talent in general. There really are different expectations and different career desires among the millennials, so we find that a lot of the strategies that we can implement to keep more women in corporate America also work to keep our best talent in general. I can tell you at Finish Line, we've done a lot of things to create a more flexible work environment that is attractive to our best talent and attractive to women. Getting more flexible around, when people are in the office in this 24/7 connected world. You don't necessarily have to be in the office from 8 to 5 every day to do your job.
So is that allowing more maybe virtual officing, working from home? Is it just switching hours around? Yes, sometimes there's, like, my daughter is a night owl. That girl is up all through the night, but can sleep all through the day. She's got the darkest circles under her eyes. Is it keeping the office open 24/7 so that you can come and go as kind of your personality or your schedule, fits?
Yeah, well, that might be a little extreme, but I can tell you that the old way of thinking were leaders who were watching the parking lot and paying attention to how many hours people were in the office. That was sort of the rite of passage. And the new way of thinking needs to be about performance and results, and really paying attention to what are the results that people are getting. Now, I will tell you, I know not every job is conducive to being done remotely, and there definitely are times when you need your teams in the same place at the same time. Building relationships face to face is very important. It's something else that I talk about in the book. But a lot of jobs can be done from places that are not in the office and at off hours. In fact, one of the CEOs I interviewed for the book made that same observation that you just described about your daughter. And he said, women will work at off hours. They'll work at what a lot of people consider, odd times of the day, but it's because they're able to shift back and forth between the responsibilities of taking care of a family and also getting their jobs done.
Our guest is Melissa Greenwell. She is the COO of The Finish Line and the author of the forthcoming book, Money on the Table. And Melissa, this is fascinating to me. And I think, if we don't have more diverse, and I'm talking about gender diversity, but you brought in the millennials into that as well, we're really hurting our own bottom lines. Talk a little bit about the tangible value that having women in the workforce, especially at executive levels, brings to the bottom line.
Yeah, for sure. So there are lots of studies about this, and if you want to read those studies, a lot of them are posted on my website. But these studies show us that companies that have gender balance on boards in senior leadership teams are more profitable than companies that have less than 10%, for example. So, it makes sense that if you consider, brain science, for example, the fact that male and female brains are different, as a gender, men tend to demonstrate different strengths than women. And so, if you're missing out if you're totally missing out on one way of thinking or looking at problems, then you're just not going to get to the best answers. And so companies who do have what I call critical mass, and critical mass is really 30%, 1 out of 3, 3 out of 10, 30 out of 100, when you achieve some critical mass of thinking within a group, then you're going to get to better solutions.
Mm.
And it is interesting that they've done the studies to figure out that tangible, like, here's the dollars, here's the numbers and cents, and why this makes sense. And I think a lot of times for these bigger companies, it's just harder, it's slower for them to make the changes, where the smaller companies are a little, quicker to adapt and have that flexibility. Now, you said lots of resources on your website, Melissa. Where can we send people to get that information?
So, Melissa-Greenwell, just like it sounds.com. So and the book is out. So the book was released the first week of January. It's on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and available on my website. So lots of resources on that website.
I love it. And love what Frontline is doing to actually embrace this.
Finish Line.
Finish Line is doing to actually embrace to embrace the changes and then get out and talk about it with other companies for best practices as well. You guys are doing a great job. And when does the book come out?
Yeah,
it came out in January.
January.
Yep.
Oh,
yep.
Okay.
It's out.
Sorry about that.
It's out on the shelves. That's okay.
No,
okay.
It's exciting.
I'd make one comment about organizations getting behind this. One of the really critical first steps is for the senior leadership team, starting with the CEO, to understand this value and then to make it a priority. And that was certainly the case at Finish Line. And as our executive team started re-examining some of our practices and policies, it was really that team that got out in front of it and made sure that the organization had the vocabulary to talk about it and make it comfortable to talk about. And I really find that that's the most difficult first step for organizations, is that they just don't know how to talk about it and think about it. So they put it under this broad umbrella of the rest of their diversity programs. And I argue with that, because women are not a minority.
That's exactly right.
We make up 50% of the world. So I think this challenge is an easier one to solve, and we have to approach it differently. It can't just be about some broad diversity initiative.
Agreed. The book is called Money on the Table. Go get a copy of it and go check out melissa-greenwell.com. Melissa, thank you for joining us. We appreciate you. Folks, don't go anywhere. We've got more positive business talk just on the other side of this break. You're listening to Angel and Eric, and this is the Experience Pros Radio Network.
You're listening to the Experience Pros Radio Show, America's home for positive business talk.
Denver's Money Talk, 1690 AM.
This is Dan Kaplis. Our firm is dedicated to always being on the leading edge of the practice of personal injury law. That includes game-changing, next-generation technology, nationally respected experts, and innovative visual tools that help us bring our client's case to life for the purposes of settlement or, if necessary, trial. We only accept a limited number of cases, so we're able to devote to each client our full arsenal of technology, skilled attorneys, and staff. We are a serious firm for serious cases, and we make the vast resources of our firm available to good people from all walks of life by taking righteous cases on a percentage fee basis. If you'd like to talk with me about your case, just give me a call or email me through our website. There's no charge for an initial consultation. 303-770-5551, 303-770-5551, or DanCaplisLaw.com. That's DanCaplisLaw.com.
Hi, this is Willie Dan with Stanford Funding. Are you paying too much for your mortgage? Call Stanford Funding now at 303-458-8200 and start your 2017 off with a bang, and let Stanford Funding lower your monthly payment or get you into that new home of your dreams, as rates are still near historic lows. Home values have gone up significantly in the last 3 years, so now would be a great time to get into a lower payment, get cash out to pay off credit cards, pay off a second mortgage, or fix that arm that started moving up on you. Call Stanford Funding now at 303-458-8200 and let us get your 2017 started off with a bang. Stanford Funding is a local Colorado company serving the Colorado market for the last 17 years. We can get you a full underwriting approval within 24 hours. Call Stanford Funding now and get a free rate quote at 303-458-8200 or apply online at StanfordFunding.com and stop paying those high payments when you deserve so much more.
NMLS 306720. Credit score 660. Loan to value 90%. Licensed by the Division of Real Estate.
Thanks for calling New Biotics. Are you calling for a free trial of our belly flattening breakthrough?
Actually, I already got the free trial. It totally flattened my belly.
Wow, that's great news.
But now I have a problem I never thought I'd have. My belly just keeps getting flatter. I mean, I don't want to look like a runway model, but I don't want to stop taking New Biotics either. Because seriously, I've never looked this good.
Well, here's one thing you can do. Only take New Biotics every other day. That'll keep up your results without making your belly too flat. And if you ever need to ramp up your belly flattening results again, just go back to taking it every day.
To get your free trial of New Biotics, call 1-800-900-6110. You're going to love how you look. And if your belly flattening results are too dramatic, simply reduce use to every other day. But hurry and call now for details while they're still giving it away for free. Call 1-800-900-6110. That's 1-800-900-6110. 1-800-900-6110.
This is David Davenport of the Hoover Institution for Townhall.com. Not since the days of Franklin Roosevelt's New Deal, under the pressures of the Great Depression, have we seen an opening presidential act like Donald Trump's. We've sent special forces to Yemen, left the Trans-Pacific Trade Agreement, reopened major pipeline projects, nominated a Supreme Court justice, and changed the rules of immigration. At least one of his executive orders on travel is likely on its way to the Supreme Court. We've seen strange scenes, Democrats holding a Senate sleepover to oppose a cabinet nominee, followed by the vice president showing up to break a tie vote. We have praised old enemies and insulted allies. Wow. How do we account for this presidential flurry of activity? Some think Trump likes to create distractions, overwhelming the media and the government. Perhaps it's his businessman's inclination to tackle several things at once. But clearly, both the media and the government will need to adjust to a new pace and style. If people wanted change in Washington, they are certainly getting it. I'm David Davenport.
Hearing aid users are younger and more active than ever before, and the reason may surprise you. Today's hearing aids have become so advanced, they're almost effortless. How effortless? You only change the batteries once a year, not every week. And you never open the battery compartment, even at night. How effortless? You can adjust how loudly and how much background noise you want to hear, right from your phone. And the clarity. Independent studies show that our hearing aids help you to hear better in background noise than people with perfect hearing, automatically. I'm Dr. Barbara Jenkins from Advanced Audiology. For more information about these and other advancements that improve clarity and ease of use, go to advancedaudiology.com or call 303-649-2122. If you have a hearing loss, you know how important these features can be. That's 303-649-2122. At Advanced Audiology, we take your hearing seriously.
Revolutionizing the way people treat people in business. The Experience Pros, America's home for positive business talk.
Welcome back to the Experience Pros Radio Show. Angel Tussey and Eric Kramer, hoping to influence you in a positive way. Get a smile on your day. We talk about things that are positive in business, and we are positively thrilled that you have tuned in. Special shout out to all of our listeners and viewers on our Facebook Live video that is out there. There's several people kind of checking in and checking out and whatnot. And it's kind of cool because we see people seeing each other watching the video and going, hey, what's going on? Good to see you guys around, and so on. So we're bringing people together.
So it's like a little party.
It is.
It's a little party on the Facebook Live. You never know what old friends or dear friends, people you haven't seen in a while, are coming together. Be sure you share that video, especially when we're not having technical difficulties.
Please
That's
do.
always awesome.
Yeah.
All right. So Eric, the other day somebody had mentioned to you about a renter's agreement based on the TV characters from The Big Bang Theory.
Yes, Sheldon, I don't remember what Sheldon's last name is, but yes, there was the renter's agreement because if you don't have an agreement, then you have what I have, and that is a child who today, right now, is hanging out at my place and living in 2/3 of my apartment.
Well, when I was thinking about the renter's agreement, I thought it's probably a lot of office policies as well. As something comes up, we add it to the list. And next thing you know, the office policy, or in Sheldon's case, the renter's agreement, is 90 pages long.
Sure.
Found an article on Inc.com, Jeff Hayden. He says, a friend of mine runs a company with approximately 300 employees, and 80% of them are remote workers, which leaves the remaining 20% working from home, or at least some portion of every week.
Oh.
So over time, their work from home policy, the quote unquote work from home policy, has grown from one page to more than a dozen. And so every time something unusual occurs, for instance, like the time a father started taking video calls with his newborn child nestled in one arm, a new policy was added to cover it. I mean,
Hey, no video calls with children nestled in one arm.
And so this
You've
is
got to
it.
nestle in
Like,
two arms.
you start getting complaints
Yeah.
for very random and odd things you never thought you were going to have to get complaints of. This is
Right.
one of those things where I think, could people just do their jobs and not worry about what other people are doing?
You know, until we started doing the video of this broadcast on Facebook Live, I knew that I had a big nose, but lots of people want to talk about it.
Maybe a little contouring.
Actually, I've got a little shadow going on one side of my nose that it looks like I've broken my nose. Maybe I broke it in my sleep sometime. Yeah, it's not the light. Trust me.
All right.
It's the size of the Grand Canyon.
It's probably dark circle, just
huge,
just taking over said face.
Yeah.
All right. So when you think about your policies,
yes,
all of them, whether it's your customer service policy, your work policies, and I know the HR people are going to hate this one because if it's not in writing, you can't enforce it. So, for example, here in Colorado, when marijuana became legal in the state, all of a sudden companies were having to put policies in place because if it's not in writing, you can't enforce it. And so this is how I think HR ends up getting, and we have these 90-page policies, work policies. But here is what Jeff Hayden's, he says it's an 8-word work from home policy, and it's the best work from home policy you will ever see.
Okay.
Are you ready for this?
8 words.
8 words. 8 words.
Okay.
Get your work done. Be available. Over communicate.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, right? He says, sounds too simple, but it's not. Those 7 words will cover most of the issues you face. And if they don't, you can deal with those situations one-off rather than as a systematic issue, right? That requires this, because one person did it, we now have to make a policy for the whole bunch, right? Number 1, get your work done, right?
Get your work done.
Yeah, regardless of where they work, tasks, timeline, goals, deliverables, all of that.
Covered.
Ultimately, every employee should be evaluated by the work that they do, by the work that they accomplish.
Mm-hmm.
So all you care about is that the work is getting done. Busy doesn't necessarily guarantee productivity. Present doesn't necessarily guarantee productivity. Melissa was just talking about, how long the cars are in the parking lot.
Right.
Just because you're there for 10 hours does not mean you're getting 10 hours worth of work done.
In fact, we know that you're getting 2 hours worth of work done on a 10-hour shift.
Yeah. So if deliverables aren't being met, deal with that just like you would any other employee.
What's over deliver?
Next one. So get your work done. Be available.
Oh, be available.
Be available.
All right, okay.
So whose responsibility is it to try to stay connected? Is it the remote workers or the home office? Who should be contacting whom, right? Either one is correct, but smart employers assume the responsibility is no matter what, it's the employees. You want to stay employed?
Right.
Call me.
Yeah, right.
Email me. Tell me what you're doing. Stay connected.
So important.
And so being available, right? And so if you're working from home and I need you and, it's a typical work day and you've got a crying baby in the background, I don't need to have a policy about crying babies in the background.
Right.
You need to have a nanny or something in-house that you can be available when somebody needs you on an emergency conference call, period.
Mm-hmm.
And then the last word, over-communicate. Now, he says, here's the thing, is that casual conversations don't happen when employees work from home. There can't just be a quick, hey, Joe, did you get that memo? Are we running that system on Friday? They can't run into people at lunch. They can't stumble into an impromptu meeting with somebody from another department. So that means that an employee working from home needs to over-communicate. Nothing should go without saying because everything needs to be said.
I tend to agree with that, but then I am encouraged to be brief in my over-communications.
Yeah, well, make sure that what you're saying has value.
Oh, I see.
All right.
Let me see if I understand correctly.
Wait, pass.
Nope.
Pause.
Nope.
Rewind.
Don't get to.
Strike that from the
It's
record.
out of the toothpaste tube.
Can I get a do-over?
Let's ask this question here. So in order to over-communicate properly,
okay, but
we need
you're
to make
saying,
sure that whatever the over-communication
if I was to ask your dad what time it was, what would he tell me?
he'd build you a watch. He'd
No,
tell you
he
how
would
to build a
tell
watch.
me how to build a watch, right? Do I really need all that information when what I was asking was for this piece of information?
Mm-hmm.
Do I need it all?
Don't know.
Is it all necessary?
Not sure.
Huh. You're sure? You know. He's like, but Angel, I took 20 minutes to write this email. And it shows. Spend the time communicating value. I don't know.
6 out of the 8 words get you most of the way down the hill.
Well, I work with you in the office.
Yeah, you do.
It's different.
You used to. We'll be back with more positive business talk tomorrow. Thank you for tuning into this, the Experience Pros radio show with Angel Tussey and Eric Kramer. We're going to jump over to our sister station, 94.7 KRKS. We'll be back.
America's home for positive business talk. You're listening to the Experience Pros radio show. Contact them on the web at Experience Pros.